And yep, Burke couldn't make it this week. I don't know where he could be. He just up and disappeared.
Oh no, I'm in the picture frame.
Oh no. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 121 of Press Any Key. I am your host, Matt Naparano. You can find us on all social media down below. Wow, not having the intro really fucks you up at this point. And join the conversation not only in our comments but in our Discord server. That's also linked below. With me as always is my co-host Nick McFly, Liz on the ones and twos, and yep, Burke couldn't make it this week. I don't know where he could be. He just up and disappeared.
Oh no, I'm in the picture frame.
Oh no.
Look at that modern technology, everybody.
Oh my god.
That's right, everyone.
We got Harry Potter technology.
I was gonna say on Press Any Key when you die, it's Harry Potter rules. So if
Yeah.
we put a painting up of you, yeah, I guess you live a second life in the world of the painting.
Does that mean Liz is dead too? Because like,
I am in a picture frame.
Yes. That's what that means.
I'm planning her funeral right now.
R.I.P.
This whole show is just not even about anything other than just announcing the deaths of half of the show.
And we got a new engineer.
A dump truck.
It's a beer fest joke. Liz is just the twin of the other.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Landfill.
Yes, landfill. All right. So, SAG-AFTRA Strike.
Yes.
We're jumping right into it. So SAG-AFTRA is the Screen Actors Guild, and what's the second half of the acronym?
AFTRA.
Okay, cool. So nobody did their homework.
It's the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists.
That's what it is.
Thank you,
yes.
Mike.
I actually know this one.
So they are currently on strike, as well as the writers. Hollywood pretty much has shut down altogether, except for like Dune Sisterhood and like another production.
Well, so what I'm seeing is obviously shows that are not made in America aren't affected. So one that I saw was the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. That's going full steam.
But they have no writers.
Well, I mean, do they have no writers?
They have no writers.
All right, well, then I'm wrong about that one. The
Alien
series,
finished. They just didn't have
the
a
Alien
writer.
series is purportedly going to go, like they're talking about going ahead with just non-union actors. It's like, okay, I'm interested to see how that
I'd like to
turns
see
out.
how that
Idea.
turns out. I did hear something. Actually, I was watching Adam Conover with Hassan.
Yeah,
he was on
big
his stream
mouthpiece
last
for
night.
the
Yeah,
union.
and he's got a big mouth. And he's running it a lot now. He mentioned, he was like, yeah, good luck making something without a SAG actor. Like if you want an actor that's halfway decent, you got to get one that's in SAG.
Yeah.
So, but they also were doing things where they were shooting around SAG actors,
Right.
like, you know, like all the Dune stuff. They shot all them first and around their schedules.
All right, let's get the body doubles in.
Pretty much. And then I'm trying to think, what was the other one?
Nick, to your point, House of the Dragon is still filming because those actors are on a
Right.
different union contract in the UK.
And labor laws are actually worse there than they are here. So
Who'd have thought?
really,
I can't
Did
remember
you guys see
what the other one is.
the Haunted Mansion is doing?
that was
yeah,
so messed
that
up.
was absolutely disgusting. The Haunted Mansion had its film debut in Disneyland, like at the ride, and instead of, you know, the actors promoting the film, they just had characters, you know, someone making $26.75 while they're
mean
studying their second
cast
semester.
members.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, Cruella DeVille has arrived at the Haunted Mansion.
And that's if they're making 27, whatever you just joked about, because it's very possible they're just getting whatever minimum wages.
Yeah, I mean, it's besides the point.
Wait, you missed such a great opportunity. Cruella DeVille gets out of the limo and they ask her, "What are you wearing?" You missed it.
Puppies.
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 Is that what happened?
That was why she wanted the 101
Yeah,
Dalmatians.
'cause she wanted to walk the runway.
Oh, okay.
The other thing that I think is interesting, a couple things. It's like Spider-Verse Part 2 and Stranger Things. Those are getting pushed back. So it's like the Stranger Things kids not getting any younger. The youngest of them is 18 now, and they're playing like freshmen in high school.
What's the other one that? Okay, And obviously, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2 is now ceased production. You know, which later on in the show, I'm gonna go through.
that?
I mean, he was like, I don't ever want to see it again. Like, are you sure? And he's like, okay, sorry.
I also saw people.
All right,
If you don't do it, you're fired.
Relax, Tom. Chill.
People were talking about like this is a perfect opportunity to just kill the Witcher series.
just mercy kill it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I've heard from people who watch it that are just like, this is just sad fan fiction, and now I see why Henry Cavill left.
So just stop after season 3.
I've watched a couple episodes and I've fallen asleep in 3 different instances of trying to watch them.
Oh no.
In like the afternoon too, you know.
I love to put on The Witcher for an afternoon nap.
Puts me right out.
The only thing that gets
All
me
right,
down.
so basically one of the biggest hangups here that's come out recently was the first thing that the Hollywood executives said was that they were just going to wait out and wait until the writers and actors were homeless
And all starved to death.
and then they'll come to the table, which was fucked up enough. And Ron Perlman put out a video himself saying that we know who said that, and like we know where you live, motherfucker. like actually,
you
said
pissed
that.
off Hellboy.
Yeah, exactly. Then
Oh my god, imagine if Sons of Anarchy was still on TV.
they wanted to start.
They wouldn't have a script or actors.
It wouldn't be. It couldn't be.
Ron Perlman. He was in that, right? I'm not losing my mind.
He's the main dad in it.
Yeah.
He plays Clay. Oh, nobody here's watched Sons of Anarchy but me.
I did. That's why
Oh, okay.
Duh.
I just thought that would land better. Sorry.
Yeah, you're just confusing me. Maybe you should see yourself. No, anyway.
Alright,
So, who's that other one? What was the other thing they were saying?
David
Oh, okay. So specifically, the AI
Right.
was the angle. Was that these background actors? Now, originally, I thought there was a difference between background actors and extras. Turns out, background actor is just like the politically correct term for extras. I found that out.
the more
this weekend.
professional term.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, I wasn't offended. I mean, I don't think
That's like when people are like, "Oh, I'm the executive vice president of development."
Yeah.
It's like I'm not an extra. I'm a background
So
actor.
I went into like
I'm
how much these
disposable.
people make on SAG sets, right? Like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
much they're paid. And like if you could book a lot of work all the time, it's reasonable,
Yeah.
but you're not doing it's just not possible.
Right.
Like unless
That's
you're
the thing is, it's so much. It just you're like waiting on phone calls. It's not consistent work.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you get that work, you are compensated well. But then it's like it goes through a manager, it goes through an agent, it goes through a lawyer. You know, they all take 10%. You
Yep.
know, so by the time it gets to you, and then after taxes, you're really not. You don't have that much left over. So yeah. So the other thing was that they wanted to scan these background actors once and use them in perpetuity with AI, which is very relevant to the movie that we're talking about
Yeah.
this week.
This movie was super relevant.
Yeah, I was very surprised. So either way, though, this has caused the first double strike since 1960, where the writers and the actors have gone on strike. Major Hollywood, pretty much every major Hollywood production has been halted altogether. Even though the directors seem to have reached a agreement with the studios, because the studios, I mean, like, listen, at a certain point, the studios know that in this day and age, a director could crowdfund his own movie and just leave the studios out of it
Shyamalan.
altogether. So like they made a deal. But the directors, I mean, like Christopher Nolan himself said that he's not gonna be working on another movie. He's like, I will not be developing another movie while the strikes are going on. So at least they stand in solidarity, so to speak.
But they did just come to an agreement, right? The director's side. They,
Yeah, that's what
they
I'm
just
saying.
negotiated their
Right
contract.
around the same time that the writers'
Yeah.
strike started, they
Yeah.
made their deal.
So yeah, so let's see how long it lasts and how long it's drawn out. Bob Iger said some really tone deaf shit.
I can't believe.
I couldn't. You know what? It's one of those things where it's like the veil was dropped that moment. That like, oh, he is a piece of shit too, like the rest of them.
he might be a hero amongst like that whole group of people.
Yeah.
But he's still a villain at the end of the day. It's like you're making how much he makes like 25 million a
It was
year.
like, it was something like closer to 40 something. But either way, I mean, like,
Well, then plus bonuses and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like what these actors are asking for is unreasonable when you have 87+% of SAG union members make less than $27,000 a year and don't qualify even for health insurance coverage. It's like you're calling these people unreasonable.
yeah. And then the other thing is that, not only with what was I gonna say? With Bob Iger specifically, the writers and actors were only asking for like a max like 5% of what his overall wealth is.
Yeah.
And he's not willing to budge.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is it's like
He makes 400 times the lowest earner on the Disney totem pole.
yeah, right. The Cruella de Vil. I'm sure Bob Iger works hard. You know what I mean? He's gotta. But he doesn't work that much harder than Cruella de Vil. Like that's just fucking insane.
He also works from like the back of a yacht on an iPad and like takes phone calls or like travels in like fancy jets, luxurious places, and meets with people and has conversations. Like he's not busting his fucking back in the fucking Disney parks in the heat, dressed up like Cruella de Vil, walking down the haunted mansion red carpet. Okay,
Getting his back blown out in the Disney parks.
he wishes. All right,
you know, back in the good old days, you get your back blown out in the parking lot.
I used to be able to walk right up to Cinderella's castle and get my back blown out on the 3rd floor. All right, well, yeah, so SAG-AFTRA striking everybody, and yeah, I mean, obviously, I hope it works out
One thing that I was reading was apparently they are allowed to make side deals with different studios. So the union doesn't necessarily have to come to a final agreement. They could go to Universal and say, hey, we want to make a deal with you. So whoever is the first domino to fall, they're going to be up and running before everybody else. And then all the other studios have to watch, in the sake of this argument, Universal just start pumping out movies.
Put out another Fast and Furious.
Put out anything. Put out anything while they're doing nothing.
That's such a big problem because that's exactly what happened to the AFM, the American. You guys looking at the fucking.
That's where you are. So
yeah, we're listening.
Yeah, it's that's exactly what happened with the AFM back like a while ago. The American Federation of Musicians, they stopped recording in like 1945 or something, post World War II, and said we're not going to record any more music. And then they started to try and reach out and make cut deals with like Capitol Records and big studios. And eventually it all fell, and then the AFM pretty much lost all power. It's like very like kneecapped to. Oh yeah, the AFM hardly has any like. That's why so many people can just do like buyout deals as a musician, but SAG actually has all of the celebrities.
Yeah.
And has everybody actually like with punching power behind it. So
that's
hopefully that doesn't end up happening.
It's a double-edged sword because I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was just like, "Oh, did you see Fran Drescher like talking about like they're going on strike?" And her, because she doesn't know anything about what's going on, she was like, "Oh, don't these actors have enough money?" And I'm like, yeah, Fran Drescher and fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson are multimillionaires, but most of these people, 87% of the actors make poverty wages.
exactly.
That's so funny. It's like, the famously wealthy profession of actors who are not like picking up 15 side jobs. Like,
yeah. So it's a shame. Was that?
Nothing, man. Didn't say anything. Can you turn this up? Can you turn my laptop up,
Yeah,
please?
do you know which one?
It's the one that looks like the phone.
Oh.
It's a little bit,
Try
yeah.
it. Try it.
Food on the table.
There you
Food
go.
on the table.
Or
Pay for their college education.
okay, he was serious, all right? He foresaw what was coming, all right? Through his Scientology powers. All right. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about SAG. I hope they fucking reach a deal soon.
We're in favor of both.
I was
unions.
thinking about the other day, though, that like, there definitely isn't any movies coming out in 2024.
Yeah.
And like, the longer this goes on, the longer it creeps on.
This also
you know what I mean?
means any promos for movies and TV shows that are already coming out this year are stopping because actors cannot do promos anymore. So what I've seen speculated is that these studios are going to start reaching out to influencers
Oh,
that are not in
no.
the unions to promote the movies. But double-edged sword, if they do promote those movies while the strike is going on, if any of those influencers ever want to join any of these unions, they will be barred.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see a
Yeah.
ton of crossover appeal there.
Soups is fucked. That guy on Twitter.
No,
He's-
I would say there's
he's already a fucking plant by the
because
studios.
all these TikTok influencers were just at the Barbie premiere, and
Yeah.
I saw speculation that they did that on the 11th because they knew that they were going on strike on the 12th.
All I'm saying is it's a totally different skill
It
set to
is.
be an influencer than an actor.
Oh no, 100%. But like these studios are going to be like, well, we're not paying anybody else, so we can pay you $100,000 for
The
5
studios
videos.
basically put their foot down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
If you don't do it, you're fired.
so you know.
Yeah.
I want to see Disney making more remakes of classics, but just with fucking TikTok influencers starring in
Oh
them.
my
Ratatouille the
God.
musical.
all the TV shows this fall and winter are going to be influencer run. Oh God,
Yeah.
All just gonna be all
It's
of
where
those
we got
people
dark
eating-
times ahead of us.
we do.
All right, let's move on.
All right.
Okay, so Liz, you can turn this down now because you can hear that little hum.
The little hump.
Yeah. Okay, so Deadpool 3 released some production stills. However, it's funny that I think the reason that they put this out was because they knew that since they were shooting outside and on location that this was going to get leaked.
Seen, yeah.
So they were like, all right, let's just put out. Well, the first thing they put out was like a grainy version to fuck with everybody. Like, is this real or is this faked? And then when the actual leaks came out, like of them on set, then they put out a 4K version. So it is real. We haven't talked about this yet on the show, right? This happened this week, right?
Yeah.
So they added sleeves because Jackman is very sensitive to the sun. He's had skin cancer twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Also old as shit, so like
He's probably got some.
He's
I want
not
to see those arms, motherfucker.
old as shit.
He's 54.
It's not
yeah, he's old as shit.
He's not old as shit. All
I
right.
just wish the suit had the underwear. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the blue crotch area.
You pervert.
Mike, I don't know if you'll remember this callback, but disgusting.
Disgusting.
I'm not
I don't
in on the joke.
Yep, it's just
You
them
remember
too.
that? I posted a gif of Andy Samberg from Jizz in My Pants on a particular photo,
Check it
and
out.
I got a direct message on Facebook from somebody that worked at the Asbury Park Press, and they just said disgusting.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Dude, fuck them. They wrote about college kids getting arrested for drinking.
no, different article.
Okay.
But still, fuck them for
yeah,
that too.
yeah. Fuck them. Oh, real groundbreaking news. Oh. So yeah. So this is them chilling on set. I like the new Deadpool hue. He's very bright red now, as opposed to that muted red
Well, we
that
are
he was.
just seeing like behind the scenes footage.
What?
This is behind the scenes footage.
Oh, this is leaked footage. This is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like B-roll.
No, but what I'm saying is this is not color corrected or
No, no,
anything.
no,
So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like you're saying, oh, the color of a suit. We still don't know what it's going to look like in the
Yeah.
finished
They
product.
could change all this. I was even thinking, dude, they might even be fucking with us. You know what I mean? They might even
Could
just
be.
be, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the yellow suit. I'm glad. Look at their doubles. Like, see how he's
Yeah.
like, this guy's just out in the.
Like he's under an umbrella.
Yeah, well,
Look
they
at
keep
Hugh
him.
Jackman.
They
He's
keep him out of
texting.
the sun though, as much as possible. You know,
Soft.
soft.
He's literally got a guy that just his job is holding an umbrella over
All right.
Hugh Jackman.
So let's check out some tweets, huh?
You got the photo of the crumbling 20th Century Fox
I got
logo?
some stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this was the first look that they released. So then we got, oh shit, I just had a terrible thought about the Wolverine mask. You know how all the masks in Marvel have been nanotech recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calling it. Deadpool literally finds a magic lamp and wishes for a Wolverine action figure to come to life and be his bud. It's the only thing that makes sense.
That would be precious.
So this is just cool to see. That was him when he was 32, is when he first got cast, and this is him near 60.
I was looking at a timeline of like here's all the different Spider-Man, Batman, Superman that we've had in the same span that Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine. And just like looking at, I forget which one where he was just like so incredibly shredded.
The Wolverine.
I mean, I'm just staring at him and like, this dude
went
is just
for it.
fucking shredded. Unbelievable.
Wolverine should have looked like this. Now that's what I call comic accuracy, not whatever the Deadpool movie is doing. Look at his arm.
Yeah.
I would like to see that suit in some capacity, but I don't think we're gonna get it with a Hugh Jackman. I think that's gonna be MCU Wolverine down the line. Wolverine fans won today.
You see, there's the blue underwear.
Yeah. Next course of action is forcing Hugh Jackman into a Looney Tunes contraption, so he'll be a foot smaller and be Wolverine's actual height.
Wait,
I don't know the height fixation.
How tall is he supposed to be?
Like 5'4".
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's like
short.
That he's got like Napoleon syndrome. That's like his deal.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, like it's there. It's not like he's diagnosed or anything. But so comic nerds have waited almost 25 years to see Jackman play Wolverine in costume. So I can hardly wait to hear all the reasons why it's wrong and they hate it.
yeah.
No way they are not recreating the sad Wolverine looking at a photograph in bed meat at some point in this movie.
Yep.
The one shot. Pay attention to the account. The one shot. This one shot is better than anything DC have released since the Snyder Cut.
Yikes.
Damn.
Besides for Suicide Squad, I would agree with that. This is one of the finest comic book movie suits ever. If you talk about the sleeves, they were made to be ripped off.
Not wrong.
I would imagine they get ripped off at some point.
Yeah.
Someone remove the sleeves and it looks better. To be honest, no, it doesn't. Look.
Oh.
What?
I'm fine with it.
It's just weird. It's just
The proportions are
not
strange.
his arms. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like where do your shoulders? Your shoulders should be like a foot up.
That looks so bad.
There we
An
go.
apocalyptic 20th Century Fox logo on the set of Deadpool 3. So,
I heard some people talking about this might be in the whatever in the Loki series where they go all the other Lokis are. Some people are speculating that this takes place in that
apparently,
universe.
this takes place in the Fox universe, and
See.
they kill everybody, and then they come here, or Marvel.
Jennifer
to the
Garner.
Marvel. She's making she's coming back, but she knew what's his name, the director of this movie. I think that's why they got her.
Oh, yeah?
Because he directed the Atom Project that she was in.
Oh, true, yeah.
Yeah.
Where-
Okay, so this came up at one point. Everyone's talking like, whatever her name is, Laura Keene or whatever back in. They're like, stories aren't allowed to end anymore. And then look at this. Love this genre set of photos. And yes, choosing these three as examples as Deadpool, the good, the bad, and the ugly reference. Like, I'd fuck with a movie where it's just Cap, Deadpool, Wolverine, and colorful as fuck costumes with cool shades on as they kill Nazis.
Yeah.
Because
I'd like it.
Wolverine and Cap, World War II, it happened.
Deadpool would just do it.
Holy shit, he rips off Deadpool's arm. Marvel brought back a nearly 60-year-old Wolverine. He's 54. He's not nearly 60.
I mean,
He's closer to 60 than anybody in this room, but he's not nearly. I'd give him at least 3 years till he's nearly 60.
how old are you?
I'm 30.
Would you say you're nearly 40?
No.
Okay.
I would say I'm nearly 40 when
Would
I
you
turn.
say you're nearly 35?
No.
No.
Nah.
Okay.
When
I
I'm
would say-
33,
I
when
would
I'm
s-
33, I'm nearly 35. When I'm 37,
32
I'm nearly
and a half.
40.
When he hits 56, we could say nearly 60.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Give it 2
DC
years.
got rid of a mid-30s Superman.
He was tainted. He had stink all over him.
He's also not in his mid-30s, I'm pretty sure. Marvel will beat DC every time because Marvel knows what the fans want and actually delivers. It's also just like, it's just such a disingenuous tweet.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, Henry Cavill could have been great. Nothing he ever did was great.
Yeah.
He had stink all over him.
Feel like this movie is going to be a pretty good litmus test for who is fun and who's actually dreadfully annoying. Which is true because someone else retweeted this and said, "Oh, here comes the most annoying movie ever." Like, dude, fuck you.
That's the
Like,
point.
Don't. Yeah.
Deadpool is annoying.
He's annoying. Actors who played comic book characters written by Frank Miller, who then makes a comeback wearing a yellow costume in a project about another comic book character who can break the fourth wall.
That is specific.
Very specific.
That
This would be
Ooh.
funny if the movie wasn't being made by the company that bought them in the first place. This is pretty grim stuff, actually.
Dark.
To be honest, I appreciate that this isn't CGI. You don't get oversized props like decent movies anymore. You tired of these leakers. Also, look at Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
is that man okay?
Can you zoom in on that?
Let's see. Am I getting a zoom?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, here we go. Oh, not
Oh.
him.
Duh.
Oh.
Disgusting.
You just smelled the fart.
I'll tell you what's leaking, Wade.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Deadpool 3 has stopped filming until the SAG-AFTRA Strike ends with fair pay and working conditions for actors. It would honestly be funnier to me if this movie never got made and Hugh and Ryan just had a fun weekend LARPing. Which I said, if this movie never finished, this would be perfect. Like,
imagine
would
if
be
this was
great.
the bookend to Deadpool, where it started, where we got the test footage of him in that one scene, and this footage was the last thing that we ever saw of it. Poetry.
But truly,
it rhymes.
none of our expectations would be murdered like some other recent DC films. So
Is this a
this a segue?
transition?
Am I-
is this
am I-
a segue?
Wait. I saw.
I am
saw
being
one
taken
more
on a
really-
fucking
really-
ride.
oh no, I was just gonna say it'd be,
Well, hold on. Wait.
we can use it as a
First
segue.
of all, I do the segues
I-
around here for better or worse, number one. Number two, Mike, what were we going to say?
I'm gonna say I saw a tweet that was basically like, Hugh Jackman's just doing this. After this, he can make all the silly little dancey movies that he wants.
No, I saw one when he got cast again that said, y'all need to leave Hugh Jackman alone and stop sentencing him to the gym. Just let him sing his little songs.
Okay, Pat and I got to see him sing his little songs. He looked like he was
He's
having
great.
the best time.
And they're doing a fucking special run of when he was in Oklahoma in AMC, like a Fathom event or some shit. I'm not gonna watch it.
A
but
canon event?
No, Fathom.
Canon event.
It's not a canon event. Not everyone's gonna watch. It might be a canon event for some people. All right.
You want to segue now?
No, hold on, wait. So the reason why it leaked, like I said, is they're shooting on location and they were outside. So it makes sense why these things would come out. They wanted to get out ahead of it. This is also comes in just before the SAG strike. So probably to distract from that. There ain't no reason why they had 30 Barbie previews 2 weeks before the movie came out. You know what I mean? So let me get you, based on the costumes and the giant 20th Century Fox, I know we talked literally a little bit about him going around and killing all the old, because that's what the rumors, boys, we are back. We're back with another multiverse rumor adventure. We got Ben Affleck's Daredevil in the mix, Jennifer Garner's Elektra.
Blade?
No, not Blade, because Blade's New Line Cinema, not
Ah.
20th Century. The Fantastic Four is now in play. Chris Evans, Johnny Storm, I've seen thrown around.
That would be fun.
So anything that has to do with that area, and of course all of the X-Men.
Yeah.
All,
well, I mean,
like-
they've already, done that.
We'll see who shows up and who doesn't.
We'll see.
All right, so anything else on this, or we want to move on?
Let's go.
I'm
All right,
ready
let's
to
move on. Liz, did you have something you wanted to say about this since you were so eager to get to this? You want to start us off?
I wasn't eager to get to that.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm just saying you just
I-
seemed really eager
Can you
before.
can you stop
anyway.
being a
Speaking of
dick?
DC
I'm not being a
movies.
dick. You just seemed really eager.
All right, well, I'll do it. So we were talking about how Henry Cavill's got stink all over him.
Okay, yeah.
I know somebody who doesn't got a lot of stink all over him. Is David Corn Sweat.
Is it? I thought it was coarse and wet.
Course, either way, it's bad.
He got corn stink all
Corn
over
Sweat.
Either way, yeah. So he's our new Superman. He's 29 years old.
I was pulling they've been in talks of like it's going to be him or it's going to be Nicholas Hoult, and I'm
That's
like,
twice now.
there's
he's been
no
passed
way
over.
Nicholas Hoult just doesn't have it. I like him, but he doesn't have it.
He could have
Corn
been
Sweat.
Batman before
I
this,
think-
because it was between him and Pattinson for Batman.
I think yes, but also I still didn't feel like he was a good fit for that either. I think I told you. I think he would have been a good like Nightwing.
Yeah.
But I just sent you a clip in the Discord if you want to pull it up. It's from a show called Hollywood. It was a limited series on Netflix And this is David Cornsweat. Somebody posted this and said, if this isn't Clark Kent, I don't know what is. And I totally agree.
Oh, this guy right here.
Yeah.
He's gonna need to beef up.
Pull the, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah,
Is it,
okay.
Nick?
I mean, if you're an actor,
Showing up to work every day, you know. And for a super, that can mean. I'm sorry, a what?
A super. Get it?
Oh, a supernumerary? A supernumerary? It means extra. Means background actor.
Okay. All right.
Ah,
but yeah, give it, play it like the way what he's talking about and he delivers is similar to what you want from Superman.
yeah, he seems fine.
He was born in 1993.
So he's 30.
Either
Yep.
way, you cut it off early, but in the clip he's talking about like earning an honest day's work and, you know, like making money. Like it was just like, that is fucking Superman.
Got
he
it.
looks it and he feels it and the delivery's there.
Yeah, he
I don't
definitely
care,
looks it.
like people are like, oh, he needs to go to the gym. He's not as big as Henry Cavill, but it's like Christopher
not
Reeves
yet,
was
yeah.
scrawny
Yeah.
and then he bulked up for the movie.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
and I don't
like-
even think he needs to be all that big because
He's Superman. He needs to be pretty fucking
but I
ripped.
think at the end of the day, if he's just like somewhat muscular, he doesn't have to be big. He just has to do Superman shit because it's not like Superman is strong because his muscles are huge. It's because he's affected by the sun, you know, differently.
Nah, I want a
it's
big
it's not
old
like the
yoked
sun makes him.
Superman.
Yeah,
that
that's
right there.
one-
He
that's
needs
one-
that chest.
Have you
right
seen
there.
George Reeves, the original
Yeah, but
Superman?
that was. But he was fit for that era. You know,
Yeah.
smoke cigars, die at 35.
But I mean,
like-
even like Christopher Reeve wasn't huge, wasn't yoked.
yeah. But we're
He
living
doesn't-
in a
he doesn't-
different era, man.
I'm saying this is I think the movie that shifts the paradigm and takes it away from everybody needs to be enormous fucking
I
mega
don't think
humans.
so.
I don't think he
Mike?
needs to be mega human. I just think he needs to be.
Meta human.
He needs to
sorry.
be ripped, but he also needs to have a wide frame. Like
Yeah, he needs to have
Superman
I think
needs
broad-
to have
broad
a
shoulders.
wide frame, like and broad shoulders, and stand with a big old chest out and everything.
You're talking about like 90s Superman.
That's what I want. It's a 30-year-old Superman now. They can adapt
I
that.
want 50s Superman.
Um,
That's what
he
I
was
want.
hateful. No. So then Rachel Brosnahan, is that how you say her name?
Brosnahan.
She's Lois Lane.
She's from Miss Maisel.
Isabella Merkt. She's playing Hawkgirl. Now here's the
Who?
here's the exciting
Hawkgirl.
cast everyone's freaking out over. Nathan Fillion has been cast as Guy Gardner, a Green Lantern.
A redhead.
And this particular incarnation of Guy Gardner was already cast for that Green Lantern TV show. They fired that guy and they gave it to Nathan Fillion. So he'll be Guy Gardner in every single thing that DC does going forward. He's voiced Hal Jordan in a lot of the a lot of the DC animated stuff.
Yeah.
So he's no stranger to playing a Green Lantern.
So from what I've heard, is Guy Gardner is more kind of like cocky and rogue.
He's an older gentleman, yes.
Okay.
Anthony Carrigan, he's a gentleman of a certain age. Anthony Carrigan is playing Rex Mason or Metamorpho, or was it Metamorpho?
Metamorpho, that's the
It's-
guy from Barry.
Yes,
The actor,
yeah,
not the
yes,
character.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I
It's like,
did.
well-
Okay, I saw that. I know who you're talking about.
And then Eli Gathie, he was in only thing I remember him from is X-Men First Class in 2011, and he's playing Mr. Terrific. I'm not familiar with that character, but I'm excited to see something new and like
It's gonna be different.
yeah.
Which is good. It's always good.
There is some rumors surrounding Lex Luthor, the
Oh,
two
yeah.
actors. Bill
Brothers.
Yeah, Bill and Alexander Skarsgård are both.
All right, so I have a preference. Do you guys have a preference of Skarsgård?
I think in this particular instance, I would say Alexander Skarsgård over that
I would
other.
want Bill Skarsgård over it.
Yeah,
I'm just really
yeah.
surprised they're not doing Anthony Carrigan as Lex Luthor because he's
Because
bald.
bald.
He's already bald.
well, he's got
Yeah.
alopecia. I'm
I was
assuming
about to
'cause
say
he's
he's rocking the pisha.
bald. It's a hairdo.
rocking the pisha.
The Skarsgårds do have both a beautiful set of hair on them.
They do, but for me, I think Alexander Skarsgård is the better fit for the classic Lex Luthor. Is that like this is what a human man can achieve when he's not an alien and he still feels like he's in the shadow of and trying to compete with Superman. Whereas I feel like Bill doesn't have that. Bill to me is more of the Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor.
He's a clown.
Yeah.
Where's
He's a clown and a
the-
Frenchman.
Who's the third Skarsgård? There's a third one.
There's more than 3. There's
amazing.
You're thinking of what's the old one?
Dad.
Yeah, what's his name?
Stellan or Stellan?
Stellan
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
Okay.
He's been in multiple MCU projects. He ain't gonna be in this.
He was the big fat guy in Dune Part
Dune.
1.
Oh, okay, so I understand what you're saying, but I just see Bill Skarsgård as more of a
He's
big bad.
He's a
Because you're talking about
he was the Duke or the Baroness.
the Baron, yeah.
The Baron.
The Baroness. In
It'll be interesting because
John Wick Part 4?
I think they're gonna.
Yes.
Alex Skarsgård is so much older than Bill, right? He's like 15 years older.
Is he? I don't know.
I think so, but it'll be interesting if they want to use like younger people, then they might pull Bill so that they can continue doing movies together and
Right.
age it.
And
Or
then
if
that
they
is,
want, like,
I think,
more of that.
canonically, aren't they supposed to be about the same age?
Yeah.
Oh,
if they
yeah,
want more
he's
of that,
older.
like,
He's an older
established,
gentleman.
Like suaveness
Gentleman
of
of a
him, then
certain
maybe
age.
Alex Skarsgård.
What are their ages?
Bill is 32, and
Alex
Alex
is 46.
is 46. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And Army Hammer's still selling timeshares. Just want to let everybody know. So,
He's not one of the Skarsgårds, but just an update.
yep. Just letting everybody know.
I would like to say there is a Gustav Skarsgård.
Is he an actor or is he
He
one
is.
of the other ones?
He is. He is part of the Skarsgård acting family, and he's pretty bald. A lot less
Alex,
hair.
Bill,
he
and
is.
Goose.
He looks like a nice who's that dude that was in Crank? Jason Statham.
He does look like Jason Statham.
He's cranked like
he's
Robert F.
Happy
Kennedy.
Nathan. Yeah, Jason Statham.
There's also Walter Skarsgård that looks like Bill.
Walter.
Walter. Yeah.
Voller Skarsgård.
Valdo Skarsgård.
All right. Anyway. All right. Yeah. So that's Superman cast. I'm looking
so-
forward. It's gonna be different. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the fact that they're cramming in so many other characters, it's like, oh, okay, cool. This is not going to be. Oh, we're just setting up. You know, he's learning his powers.
Yeah. He's gonna be a couple years into his career. They're going for the Batman.
The Batman, yeah.
So, well, with that said, should we move on to the main topic for this evening, everyone? All right.
I have a random factoid that's unrelated to anything.
Hit us.
If you want to hear it.
Okay.
You know, Steven Spielberg gets $20 million a year from Universal as like just a salary.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He just makes $20 million a year to be a Universal guy.
That's his quote.
It's the way to go.
That's
I
his
guess.
quote, even if he does a bad job.
And did you learn this because of the strike this week?
No, I was listening to a podcast about the Fablemans, but being that like so much of Universal, like all their rides and shit are tied to like Jurassic Park and stuff like that, they really want to make
I
him
just
at
watched
home.
an hour and a half video on Universal Studios Florida.
Yeah.
Today, like before you came over. So
Good
it's
for
weird
you.
that you're bringing this up right now. You're freaking me out, man. Are you looking at my fucking search history?
Yeah, I'm the entity.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move on then. All right. So main topic for the night. We saw Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, and
I got out of the theater and then immediately came here. I just saw it.
So yeah, Liz and I saw it on Monday during a fan early access whatever.
It's been a while.
And then I saw it again yesterday. Mike, when did you see it? Thursday?
I saw it on Wednesday night.
Okay. Where'd you see it?
Just at like the same theaters that I've been going to.
Okay.
It was actually a Regal this time.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Did you see it in any higher formats or just like?
No, it was a Regal theater.
Oh, okay, just regular ass.
he's
Got
out
it.
in laser.
Yeah.
He's out in laser. What'd you see it in?
Dolby.
Okay. Liz, what about you?
I saw it on IMAX.
I saw it on IMAX and
Oh,
Dolby.
wait, did I see it in IMAX? I don't know.
To be fair, we thought we were seeing it in Dolby on Monday night,
then
and then we were swindled, and it was IMAX.
And it was IMAX. So, all right. Well, anyway.
All I know is that when that big huge like tank of a car that Palm Clementif was driving,
Yeah.
shit was rumbling. I was
Yeah.
moving around in my seat.
All right. So I'm just gonna give it some general thoughts real quick. I'll start us off. So I think this is incredible. Obviously, it's for an action movie. This is another pinnacle, and I absolutely loved it. However, I did like Fallout better than this one, but in Dead Reckoning Part 1's defense, Fallout is regarded as not only one of the best action movies of the 2010s, but it's also in the discussion for one of the greatest action movies of all time. Is specifically Mission Impossible Fallout. And you just watched that recently, right?
I just watched 4, 5, 6, and 7 in that many days.
And would you
I was gonna say that, like, not that this is like about Dead Reckoning in particular, but to me, I just cannot believe how amazing of action movies these are. Every single one, like 4 through this one, they like all the action set pieces are good. Not a single bad one. The gadgets are fucking amazing. Like possibly this franchise might even be better than James Bond, and I really like James Bond.
It's for my favorite action franchise. It's between this and John Wick.
I would say that this is John
and
Wick.
They both have their own style.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
John Wick
Like,
I like for the style. This I like as just straight up action movie.
yeah. But yeah, so I still think this is great, but I think the diversity of action in Fallout was more well rounded than this one.
Okay, so what was 5?
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation, I think, was my favorite.
Apparently, that's the fan favorite.
That was my favorite of the bunch.
Mike, what about you? What do you think? What's your
for
favorite?
The movie, right?
What's your
For this one,
favorite?
I mean, you gave me shit for it already. You told me.
Ghost Protocol.
That's a fine movie.
Ghost Protocol is great. I do like Ghost Protocol. And Liz, which one you like? Ghost Protocol too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I haven't seen Rogue Nation. And
What?
No.
We weren't dating it.
And
Yeah, but I mean, I thought you were watching them this week.
We tried. She streamed all week. So
sorry. Pikmin Palooza.
Pikmin Palooza.
And Fallout, all I remember is Henry Cavill going, don't, and that's it.
he cocks his
Oh
biceps.
yeah. He
That's
does
all I
do that.
remember.
He looked good in that movie.
But
Liz, what do you think of the movie?
I thought it was great.
Just generally.
I thought it was really good. I know you already brought up Palm.
She was
fantastic. Great. Fantastic. Everyone in the film was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. This might be my favorite cast of all of them.
Yeah.
Even like the villains.
Still want him to bring back Paula Patton, but she was in Ghost Protocol.
Oh yeah, what the fuck? They didn't even write her out or anything. She's just gone.
Yeah.
They're like, you kicked the bitch out the window. You're cut off.
And they never address that.
Wait, before we jump in, I want to bring something up because I know you disagreed with this the other night. So Pat and I were out and somebody said, oh, it's nice to watch an action movie and you can just like shut off your brain. Do you agree that you can shut off your brain for Mission Impossible?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I
they
know
are
that
so well written.
I know we've talked about seeing like movies where we can just shut off and it's nice to not have to.
Yeah, like Transformers.
Yes.
And like Indiana Jones
But
and
not
like
this.
The Flash.
Avatar.
Oh, I'm not saying I agree.
wouldn't- no.
I just wanted to hear what
You
Mike
fucking
and
did that on purpose.
Nick thought. Like, do you feel like there's a good story here too? Like we talk about the action, but what do you think about the story?
Always great.
I think if we're going to talk about story and writing right now, and we're going to get into that, because I do have some bullet points on how we should attack this, because it's such a fucking beast of a movie.
All right, go ahead.
First, just starting with the story and writing, I think, non-spoiler, I think the story and the writing in this is like at the top of its game, as it has been for all the rest of the movies. There is definitive like character arcs for everybody pretty much. And even then, it's consistent with the story it's trying to tell for its characters over time. But not only that, specifically this mission is super relevant.
It's crazy.
It's very on the... And like, here's the thing. This was supposed to be out in 2021. So you want to talk about ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Like, this thing was really on the... Like, it really nailed it. You know what I mean?
They benefited by being delayed.
Yes, heavily. And not only that, it's just such a unique angle to take a Mission Impossible movie, because it's more like sci-fi now almost, but also not, because this is a reality.
You still have antagonists.
Yes,
in
exactly.
Action.
So, like it's a cool and very relevant and sleek and stylish Mission Impossible plot. Like it's exactly what it needs to be.
My only complaint is that this one was probably the most confusing, because you had so many different factions trying to get the keys. And it's just like, I don't know, like
So
for
much
most of the
sleight of
movie,
hand.
I'm like, who are they working for? Are they working together? And that wasn't clear for most of the movie. But I mean, it wasn't to the detriment of the movie. It's just like I was having a hard time
I
keeping
will
track
say,
of everything.
seeing it a second time definitely helped me understand everything that was going on, because it throws a lot at you.
Yeah.
But it's good about keeping your head above water for the most important shit. So maybe let's talk about some performances and some
Mike,
characters
you
here.
want to throw anything in? We haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And Liz, you can just cut to the main one because
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your remote shot, and
That's
it's
okay.
not letting me adjust it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's the entity.
No. I thought, like, I mean, yeah, echoing a lot of what you guys were saying, I thought it was super compelling. I thought it, like, went along really well. It did suffer a bit, Nick, like what you said, from that, like, Indiana Jones. Like, there's a lot of just people on the screen at a lot of times, and you're kind of, like, figuring it out. And a big part of it with me is I really love seeing all of the practical action effects, and there's so much of them, which is absolutely insane. And I mean, that's what Tom Cruise does best, is this kind of action and this kind of realism. The only thing is that I can't help thinking of is when I'm watching him do a lot of these stunts, and this kind of ties into the performances a bit. It's hard. His age shows. And like, granted, like, you know, he's 61, he's doing it great, but you just see kind of like red face and flustered lines and everything like that. And I'm like, I really, really want some new action stars, is what I thought kind of coming out of that.
Well,
that is my criticism from this movie is, oh, I want more modern practical effects with new stars, is it. Like, he's perfected this. I want them to take it in a different direction. With
do you
other
want them to
people.
hand it off to the next generation?
No, not necessarily even Mission Impossible. I'm like, just do what you're doing for Mission Impossible with other action movies.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing.
That'd be really fucking nice if people would take a lesson from this one.
Well, that's
Yeah,
you know what? Quite
exactly.
honestly, that's the thing, is that like this is a one of a kind type of filmmaking that they
But
do.
does it have to be?
Truthfully,
it's not like it has to be.
Well, honestly, it's one of those things where it's like, dude, it's fucking Tom Cruise. Like, that's what it comes down. Tom Cruise has he has the power, he has the know-how, and not only that, he's got the means to do it, pretty much. And like, here's the thing, is that like,
He's got a whole church behind him.
before Tom Cruise started doing Mission Impossible movies, like from Ghost Protocol on, he was already worth like $400 million, and he had already written, produced, consulted on, acted in, won awards, made billions of dollars for studios. So like, this is not just some guy who came, you know what I mean? This is like, he wanted a way to rejuvenate his career because he had a slump in the mid 2000s. It went, I think, like War of the Worlds was like his low point, around like Vanilla Sky, around there. And then he took a few years off and he came back with Ghost Protocol, and it just sent his career to another level.
I get what you're saying there. What I'm saying is the industry could take a look at a good hard look at this and see there is a desire in the marketplace for this. Audiences do want to see it, and we could like raise up the next generation of action movie stars and not do everything as green screen and CGI, and do practical effects and have real hand-to-hand combat.
I'm just curious as to where are you gonna find another person that has the athleticism to pull off stunts like that, while also having the talent to act that role, and also having the vision to meet with like safety and this director.
You're trying
and
to
like,
make it exactly the same. It doesn't have to be the same formula where it's all a one-man show. It could be a whole team of people.
no, I'm saying
that do this
specifically
same thing.
why it's like this is because it's a one-man show.
But you could
like,
you could take and reverse engineer this. The reason they were able to get here is because of that, but that doesn't mean that the recipe has to be the same every single time. You could take this and extrapolate how do we recreate this with different, ingredients.
Yeah. Kind of finishing up on this with, I think the other big issue that we have with it is doing these kind of movies. The movies that like Chris Nolan does, the movies like this, the movies that are like the John Wicks are expensive, and they're things that studios won't take risks on new actors for.
Well-
They know that for those three categories, they're going to be profitable. They're going to work with these established like legends in the industry. So they can do these type of things. Like when, like Pat, your point, when Tom Cruise is like, nah, I want to ride a motorcycle off a cliff. They're like, bet, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
I wonder what his insurance.
Well, that's the
plan
thing is
like.
that like he's also, you know what I mean, is like no actor is getting hired for a movie that starts shooting in 6 months and they're like, you're driving the motorcycle. Like that stunt has already been figured out the year prior and they've already been practicing it and developing it. That's what I'm saying. That's the linchpin there. So
And also, doesn't Tom Cruise have like years of skydiving under his belt?
yeah,
So
that's
he's
what
like
I'm saying.
certified.
Is that
to,
like, yeah, you
like-
can make a practical action movie, but the part of the appeal of seeing these is that motherfucker is in camera throwing himself into danger all the time, you know? All right, so now that obviously we're talking about performances now. Tom Cruise, he's great in this. There is a clear distinction between Ethan Hunt and Top Gun. The other one that he did.
Haircut.
The haircut is
Maverick.
yes. The haircut is different. But I'm saying at least as far as his characters are concerned, there is a difference between them.
I think
It's always just so intense. Like
why like they lean so hard into Ethan Hunt just fucking loves his friends.
yeah.
It's like, okay, this is the 8th movie. We get that he loves his friends.
Well, that's the point. He's unwavering. Nick.
He's unwavering.
He's unwavering.
Also, every single movie, it's always just like, the IMF is in so much trouble. It's like they're never not at the brink of.
they even talk about it in
implosion.
this one. They
Yeah.
even said to him, they're like, he always goes rogue. It's like we just kind of leave word.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I love how like they were basically like, we are sick and tired of your bullshit, Ethan, but we literally have no other plan.
Mhm.
So then Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames as his boys, as Benji and Luther. There's definitely some scenes where Ving Rhames definitely wasn't in the room with everybody when they shot this during COVID. So it definitely makes sense that there's definitely some.
That's why they did one scene where he's like, I have to go away to a
Yeah.
different place where you guys aren't.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like, all right, well, I guess that's how they're getting him out of here.
I have to go now. Okay, bye.
So
There can't be any internet, no phones,
Yeah.
no nothing. I have to be
They,
alone.
they made it good though. They made
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
made it.
It
You know,
made sense in the
Yeah,
plot.
it made sense in the
Yeah.
moment, but it is also
you
one of those
think
things where
about
it's like,
it.
okay, I guess he's just not joining us. All right, so then the second thing, Rebecca Ferguson is back as Ilsa Faust. She's such a fucking great find for these movies, and I'm glad that she what's it called? That she like was a mainstay in these. She was always a good foil for Ethan, or like a very and like a contemporary, you know what I mean? Like an
Yeah.
equal to him, you know? And it's one of those things where it's like it made sense that their relationship worked the way it was. You know what I
It's a
mean?
good bump and a bump.
Yeah.
I was thinking that we've had different incarnations of Hitman movies, from the video game Hitman.
Yeah.
They should do Hitman movies like this. The whole time I'm watching this one, I'm like, if you just replace Ethan Hunt with Agent 47, this shit would fucking slap.
Yeah. Okay, so then we had Ilsa Faust. Oh, and then Haley Atwell joins the cast in this one. So apparently they've been trying to find her apart for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then they
Really?
finally got her in this one. And I'm glad because I feel like Marvel wasted her.
Yeah.
You know, she was really great in the first Captain America. That's where everybody was introduced to Haley Atwell. And then she's kind of been like on TV, Agent Carter, and then whenever they need her for the MCU.
Yeah, there's a recent quote where she's just like not happy with her appearance in
Yeah, exactly.
Multiverse of Madness.
And I feel like it's because she booked this
blame
and
her.
like it's going to be a big success.
Yeah.
So,
Well, to me, I mean, I don't know if this will count as a spoiler, but this felt to me like they were setting this up to hand it over to her potentially. Like,
Yeah. it very
she
much
could
felt
be
like-
the legacy.
maybe.
We'll see in the next one.
I'm just saying Tom Cruise says he wants to do these
Until the day he dies.
He wants to do these, quote, as long as Harrison Ford did Indiana Jones. That's what he said. So at least for another 20 years,
Yeah.
we're getting Mission
I
Impossible.
felt that way
movies.
too, though, Nick. I thought it had the similar energy.
And I mean, even if Tom Cruise keeps going, They could still spin off Haley Atwell's character.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
this could just be a fail-safe. Like, they're setting it up where
Yeah.
it could go one way or the other, depending on... Because especially if they were filming this during COVID and they didn't know what they were going to get out of filming or production or how long everything was going to take, they could just be like, all right, let's set it up to look like this, and whether it goes that way or
Exactly.
not.
Then we have Palm Clementif.
Perfect.
She's perfect.
She's
She's the best.
perfect.
She's one of the best parts of the movie. And then who's the villain? What's the villain's name?
Oh,
Gabriel.
handsome salt and pepper.
Yeah.
It's I Morales.
George Clooney, but not.
Giorgio Clooney.
I just
I don't know how to
I was
pronounce
just
it, but
thinking
it's I Morales.
the entire movie. I was like, imagine getting so close to looking like George Clooney, but just not.
Yeah, Isai Morales. That's his name. He's good. He's a nice, smooth talking, secret agent villain.
Nice to look at.
He's a handsome man.
He's a handsome man.
He, like the whole time, he's very calm and collected and menacing.
Yeah, exactly. Very
Yeah.
sinister, lethal as well too. I liked that you never knew what he was gonna do, and it was one of those things where it's like he's not like super deep, but he serves the plot well. Like he does exactly what you need him to do. Carrie Elways is in this.
Very strange.
I did not see. I thought his career was over if he was
After
doing
he did
Daily
the
Wire,
the Hyperions. Yeah.
and then Kittredge. So he's back because he was in the first one.
Yeah, because they
Ethan-
killed off fucking
John Voight.
Not John Voight. In the last one, they killed off
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. I was
Alec Baldwin.
pissed. I was like, "Fuck yeah, Baldwin!"
Nope, no more Baldwin
And he
for
got
you.
stabbed to death.
Yeah,
Got him.
I saw the light go out of his
Yeah.
eyes.
Anyone else? Are we missing anybody? Oh, the two cops.
Yeah,
They were good too. And
the rookie cop and senior cop.
yes,
Oh,
a good
yeah.
dynamic. Always a classic.
Always.
I'm trying to think. Anybody else in the main cast or no? That's pretty much it. I'm
No,
pretty
but
sure.
now that we're talking about it, I like how suave the men are in this compared to like John Wick. Like, when we're watching John Wick and we're like, Keanu Reeves just doesn't act. He doesn't try.
He just is.
He just is. Like in this, I'm like,
Oh,
these
need
men
a
are
gun.
cool. These are cool men in this movie.
What
This
about,
is these are cool people.
I don't think anybody looks at Simon Pegg and's like, this guy's cool.
I do.
I mean, he's funny, but he's
That's
not
the thing.
that cool guy.
I think he's kind of got that Ringo factor in that.
Yeah.
Ringo got the most fan mail out of all four Beatles. Simon Pegg is everybody's favorite in these movies.
Oh, yeah.
So Simon Pegg has had a wonderful journey to get him where he is because
From
he,
Shaun of the Dead to
because
here.
he got hired with J.J. Abrams to write the Star Trek movies. So and then he beefed up his own role throughout those movies.
Good for him.
So that gave him a higher profile. Oh, and then J.J. Abrams directed Mission Impossible 3 and cast him as Benji. And everybody liked him in Mission Impossible 3, so they carried him over. So yeah, like I said, he beefed himself up in two big franchises at one time. And man, I did not see
Where's Nick Frost? What's he doing?
Mission Impossible pulling out ahead of Star Trek. I never thought that would happen.
And then Vanessa Kirby as Alana.
Oh yeah. Vanessa Kirby's
And
really good in this too.
rumor on the street is that she's probably going to be Sue Storm in the new Fantastic Four,
Ooh.
and I think she's
That
a
would be
fantastic choice.
Yeah, I think she's great.
I thought she was fabulous in this for the
She's-
role that like she
Did you
needs
mean
to
that?
play.
Did you like?
No, I
think
didn't. I didn't mean that.
she's fantastic.
She's fantastic.
So
She's gonna be in Napoleon too.
Oh
she's
yeah,
gonna be Josephine.
she's going to be
Yeah.
Napoleon.
She's going to be.
could you do me a favor when you introduce me? Could you call me Napoleon?
Wait, actually, can we sidebar Napoleon? I think it's weird that it's Joaquin Phoenix, who is in his 50s at this point, or 49, playing Napoleon, who lived to about that age, but wasn't doing this shit in his 50s. Like he was
scared.
he was being Napoleon in his 30s.
He's an actor, Nick.
I know, but he looks like a 50-year-old man.
Okay, fair
I mean,
enough.
to be fair, every
But that's how
portrait
that's how
I've seen of
32-year-olds
yeah.
looked back
That's fair
then,
enough.
so-
I was gonna say, to be fair, every portrait
Yeah.
I've seen of Napoleon, he looks
He
like a
is-
50-year-old man.
And he's also too
Right,
tall.
with
The whole thing with
FTVs.
Napoleon is that he's short.
But
well,
here's the
so
thing.
is Hugh Jackman for Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman.
Then
Yeah.
So Napoleon was short, but also the average height of people back then was shorter. So he would have been about on par with most other
So we
men.
can make all of them. Make fun of all of them, not just
Yeah,
Napoleon.
so
Okay.
I mean the fact
Okay,
that
short.
yes, all people from
Waddling
in
around.
that
Hey.
era were small.
Hey, I'm down here. Hey, can you move your boot? I did see in that trailer though, they portray the Battle of Waterloo, and that's where he employed the diamond, where it's like
Yeah,
they send out and then it's like, oh, retreat. So then they chase him over the hill, and then when they get over the hill, they have all these battle stations. I was like, okay, they did their homework.
ABBA was there.
I was gonna say, do you think they're gonna play ABBA over?
I really
that?
hope so.
All right, so then I have just stunts and action written down because that's really what this movie.
That's more than the
That's more.
the Academy Awards do. They don't recognize stunts at all.
So we got car chases in this movie. We got fist fights in this movie. We got gunfights in it. We have one good gunfight in this movie. The Mission Impossible movies don't really do gunfights though. There's a train sequence that is fucking crazy. There is a dirt bike jump that is insane, and then there's some parachuting that is cool to see, but ultimately it does not serve any.
It's not really like the parachute is more of a vehicle from one to the other.
It's our ticket off the train, pretty much. But yeah, so the car chases are really cool. But what,
do you think they were a little too jokey in the car chases? It took me out of it a little bit because like there are jokes, but it felt like an improperly timed joke when they're having this intense car chase and they smash into the wall.
Yeah,
it's like what movie am I watching right now?
I like the tumble.
I had a question for y'all.
Yeah.
And then they're what's that, Mike?
Yeah. So I had a question for y'all. The thing that I thought through a lot of these, and I know we're seeing a lot of similarities across different type of action movies in instances of these action sequences. Like I couldn't help think. I was like, oh, okay, this car chase scene around this, like the Arc de Triomphe, I was like, okay, John Wick. Like, you know, that car, like that John Wick 4
and
had
then
that big
Indiana
car
Jones
around
had
that.
it too.
Indiana Jones had it around that.
Oh,
Indiana
I got
Jones
something
had
else
the
for your
train.
ass later.
Indiana Jones
I know
had
exactly
that
what
club,
you're talking about.
Sorry, John Wick had that club scene. John Wick had that church type of scene with all the candles. I was like, there's a lot of really similar repeated imagery in a lot of these movies.
You know, I was thinking about that too, but I also feel like it's one of those things where it's like, well, where are you going to have a movie about fucking spies in fucking Alabama? Tom Cruise is chasing the bad guy through a Walmart. Then watch out, they're going to run up the side of the Jiffy Lube.
I was going to say like downtown San Francisco.
You know what I mean?
Like,
and
that's where Sonic was.
And like that's the other thing that I appreciate about these movies is that they shoot on location in what Americans would call exotic locations, in these places that look absolutely beautiful on film, and they're really there.
I like,
you know
that,
what I mean? Like
that,
they're really filming this landscape and capturing it forever in a film. You know, like that right there is absolutely beautiful. As a matter of fact, there is another summer blockbuster that we saw recently that has a very similar sequence that I found out was filmed in the exact same place 2 weeks apart, and this
Indiana
movie makes it
Jones?
look fucking incredible, and the other one looks fake as fuck. We'll get there. So anyway, the action and stunts in this film are unreal. It's the tippy top. There's nothing better than it.
the tippy tap.
So if anybody else has anything to add to non-spoilers, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'd give this a 10 out of 10. It's another great Mission Impossible movie.
I really wanted that scene in that alleyway with the two fences at either end. I really wanted Tom Cruise to shimmy his way up the wall, and I was really disappointed he didn't do that.
That scene was very well done for such like a small space. It felt like big and small at the same time.
And he definitely like what Mike was saying. I could see the old man in him where he's getting overpowered by two people, which was good. Like it was, it was nice to see him getting overpowered. That's what I love about these movies is
Put that guy's face through a window.
he did.
It was cool.
They consistently make it difficult and challenging for the crew. It's not like everything they do is perfect. They almost always fuck things up.
It's the Harry Potter logic. You know, we have a plan and everything goes wrong.
And it always goes
immediately.
wrong. They fumble it, but they're able to recover it.
Yeah. You know? So then score?
I'd probably give it a 9.5, somewhere in there.
Miguel?
I'm giving it like an 8.5.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I've heard people give it as low as 8. That's so I could see why you would, especially when you compare it to the last one, because the last one is fucking unreal. Liz?
Elizabeth.
Wrong person. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. When we come back to the second one, and whenever that comes
Do you
out.
call it woke? Did you just say woke?
No, I said like when we get back to the
Mission Impossible's woke now.
Yeah, it's woke. I think that this is very woke. Tom Cruise is woke.
All right.
I don't know what else. Yeah, we'll give it a 9.
So before we get to non-spoilers, for spoilers, we're doing non-spoilers. Yeah, no. Before we get to spoilers, I'll do box office real quick. Domestic. This was a 5-day opening
Can
weekend.
we get a drum roll, Liz?
This is a 5-day opening weekend.
You got to be
We
ready.
have not checked the levels on that
You
recently.
got to.
No, we have not.
When the drum roll ends, you got to be
5-day
ready.
weekend domestic is 80 million. That's a franchise best for the U.S. International made 155 million.
Is it a best because it's a 5-day?
No, it's just in general. It's just the opening period.
Right.
Now
But
it's
the
one of
other
those
ones
things-
haven't had long weekends.
No,
Or-
they were 3-day weekends. So Fallout did technically make more money in 3 days than this made in 5 days. But the fact that this did as
I
good
keep
as it
hearing that-
fucking did.
I keep hearing that this is underperforming.
I said, I
Okay,
have
all
a
right.
whole breakdown. So,
Can I ask a question?
What?
So us seeing it on Monday, does that count in the weekend? Or?
no, this would be from Wednesday
Okay.
to today.
Mm.
All right, so worldwide total 235 million. It's a problem though because the budget is 295. Now here's the thing: these movies are relatively cheap compared to the Marvel and Disney stuff. The last one was 170 million, and that movie pulled in close to 800 million, so it was very profitable. This one, like every other movie that was shot during COVID, the budget ballooned out of control. It happened to the Batman. The Batman was originally 100 million, ballooned to 200 million because
Batman
of the
ballooned
COVID.
out of control and smashed into a bridge.
This movie ballooned out of control. They went 50 million over their budget, which was already 40 million more than their last one. What was it? Indiana Jones is another one. It's because you have all of these extras. They need COVID tests. They need quarantine. And I have some stuff to break down that whole timeline. So either way, I'll explain it all in spoilers. But so the question I want to start everybody off in the spoiler section is, who's your favorite British brunette in the Mission Impossible series? Because
that
they're
has
just-
their life in peril because of their proximity to Ethan Hunt.
yeah. Because they're just throwing them out in this one.
Yeah.
So spoilers from this point out. I think Rebecca Ferguson's great in these movies. However, there was no way they were setting Haley Atwell up just to die. I knew that immediately when they were like, "You have to choose, Ethan."
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, they're doing the whole Bond thing with it, and then it's just like, we'll just kill off the older
Yeah,
one.
I like how it's just his essence that puts these women in danger.
Yeah.
there's too much charisma.
Yeah.
Liz was complaining that he touched too much female.
Too many
face.
touching how many females' faces did he touch in this movie?
2.
And
I will
how
say
many of
this.
them
I will
died?
say this. I did think it was weird when he pickpocketed the key back from Haley Atwell in the beginning of the movie.
And then did sleight of hand magic.
And then I kept thinking.
And then she also did it too.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, is that when she is playful with him and everything, it's okay, it's weird that he just has this charisma or whatever. No, she knew who he was though, because she was given the picture of him.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically say to watch out for this
He didn't
guy.
have that much reason.
Yeah, exactly. All right. He's 61, okay.
But I mean, so again, so we're in
Nearly
spoilers.
60.
yeah.
Nearly 65. It was you need to make a choice, and the people that you care about, and Haley Atwell you just met 20 minutes ago, she's just equal footing as everybody else you're
Yep.
best friends with.
At least they called it out. Where later on she's like, "You don't even know me."
Yeah.
She directly says
And
it.
Ethan Hunt's like, I don't care. you're
But I
you're
love
British
you.
and you're brunette.
I don't care. Have
I
you looked
will-
at you lately?
I will make you fall in love with me.
So he's not allowed to be married to his wife because it'll put her in danger. But he just falls in love with all these other women.
No, he wasn't in love with Grace. He was in love with Ilsa.
Yeah.
And he has since moved on from Jane, was her name?
Well, she
think-
was in Fallout.
Yeah, she makes an appearance, but she's already married and moved on. And
Yeah,
remember
but
he
there was
fucking-
that moment
Yeah,
where,
yeah, yeah.
oh man, I wish we could still be together.
Yeah, well,
But I kind of have a
got that
crush on
riz.
Ilsa. And then now the Grace is here, and he's like, do I really love Ilsa or do I love Haley Atwell,
The younger model.
the younger model?
Yeah, no, I don't think. No, I think the whole thing with him was that he said your life will always matter more than mine, just because that's how he is. I don't think he's in love with her at all.
I think he will be in the next movie.
Nope, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, he's got
I
one
think he'll
less
be like,
option now.
Ilsa! Why have you forsaken me? Let's talk about the villain. So the villain in this movie is Algae Rhythm is back in his
Algae
second
Rhythm.
appearance. It's in Rogue AI, and I love the way that they set it up about the whole thing with the Sevestival and everything at the bottom of the ocean. Like that's where the source code is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's basically this thing that's like, if it gets into any bit of your digital gear, like you're fucked. Like it can basically
Rewrite truth.
it controls the narrative, which like how relevant. How relevant.
This woke movie.
Yeah. I love the idea that the CIA, that all the intelligence agencies are going back to hard coding everything in
Yeah.
this CRT
He's
and
got
analog
like
gear.
typewriters, a
Yeah.
whole
That
like
was so
hanger
cool.
of typewriters.
That was
It
really
looked
cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
I also like that it's kind of like a cop out for them to be like, look, I don't want to like future think what technology might be that the CIA might have. They're like, fuck it, we're on typewriters now.
Yeah. I also love that meeting scene where Ethan's like, this is me listening. He knocks everybody out and it's him and Kittredge.
They got me there. I really thought that
I thought this was like in some assassin shit or
yeah,
something.
I thought he was going to be, okay, this is the villain of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's just Ethan.
Scary.
I could tell it was a mask. I'm just, I guess, just very smart. But I didn't know like who was gonna be.
Why did you think it was a mask?
Is the best words.
I don't know. He looked really shifty. Like it didn't look like a real person.
But that wasn't a mask in real life. That was a real
I
man's
know,
face.
but I had a hunch.
It was.
What
It
can I tell
didn't.
you?
It didn't look like a mask. It looked like a face.
Yes, but he was shifty looking, and
Yeah, which would lead me to believe that it was the bad
we
guy.
had literally just watched Ghost Protocol like 12 hours beforehand, not even 24 hours beforehand. Like, and I was like, "Oh, we know we're gonna have a mask," and I knew it was a mask.
What are you doing?
I was hearing some feedback.
Yeah, that's from Mike. I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Miguel.
Miguel.
but yeah, no, that was good.
Okay. Yeah. So the controlling the narrative is extremely relevant. And then there are some things that I like they kept some mistakes in. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but during the sword fight on the bridge with Gabriel, Rebecca Ferguson missed a step at one point and she slips off the top step. And that was obviously a mistake, but they kept it in because it actually looks like, she's fighting for her life now because she slips and then the next scene, her foot is right back where it's supposed to be. So it's
We talked about how he fended her off with a pocket knife, and
Two
she's got a
pocket
goddamn
knives.
sword.
a cane sword, super sword, very stabby
I was like, that's
sword.
not how physics works.
It's video game physics.
There was one part where they cut a frame where she flipped off of him and she was like this and then immediately sideways at one point. It was really weird, very jarring.
And you're giving this movie a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, it did everything I wanted it to. It made it, you know what I mean? I felt satisfied with what I walked out of there with. So I have some fun stuff about the production if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah, sure.
The production. Okay.
Do it.
So it's a little bit of a production timeline. I got it from I watched a smaller YouTube video. It came up. The YouTuber's called Frame Voyager, and the video is called The Complicated Production of Mission Impossible 7. I'll link it below if you guys want to check it out. But basically, so this was announced January 14th, 2019 for summer 2021 and 2022. Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie. Tom
Cusack.
And they would initially plan to shoot these two movies back to back. They scheduled to begin filming in February 2020 during Carnival in Venice, like a festival of lights or some shit. But that fell apart because you know why, unspecified virus of unknown origins showed up. On July 6th, 2020, they got clearance to begin filming again after Tom Cruise schmoozed the culture secretary, Oliver Dowden, and allowed them to enter the country without a 2-week quarantine period starting in September 2020. So this was before vaccines.
So he's pulling some real Ethan Hunt shit.
Oh yeah, August 13th, 2020, rehearsal for the bike stunt went wrong with the cardboard that the bike was landing on after Cruise would abandon it caught fire. Thankfully, Cruise wasn't even there because he was too busy jumping out of a helicopter practicing for the second part of the stunt in an airfield a couple miles away.
That's incredible.
Sorry, I need to zoom in here because I can't see. Okay, so this particular stunt was also another setback for the production, which was already behind schedule, and this left Tommy C feeling frustrated. Pay attention to that. September 6, 2020, they started filming again, and they started the biggest stunt first because the logic is if Tom gets killed doing this, why make the rest of the movie?
I feel like that's backwards. Do it last, so if he dies, you can still put the movie out.
When you have an in memoriam.
Yeah, exactly.
October 26, 2020, you're going to have a video of a man's death in a movie.
Wouldn't be the first time. There's
The Crow.
The Crow, and but he didn't die on set, did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got shot, right?
Yeah, but they also didn't leave the scene of him getting. They reshot that with the new guy.
But in the Twilight Zone movie, the guy and a child gets decapitated by a helicopter.
Oh my God, that's right.
And they left it in the movie.
That was fucking crazy. I've seen that in slow motion. It's wild.
And then Alec Baldwin shot that person.
And that's coming out.
And that's coming. That'll be out soon. So then,
I can't wait.
October-
I can't wait to see the frame of him like pointing a gun right at the camera.
October 26, 2020, crew member tests positive for COVID and production shuts down for 14 days.
And then what does Tom say about it?
At this point, the movie's budget had ballooned to $295 million. Mission Impossible, while profitable, isn't superhero profitable, so this was a problem. Then this happened. The
Movie down!
you know what I mean? He started freaking out. You know.
They believe in us and what we're doing. I don't ever want to see it again. Ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And you.
So he started freaking out,
College education.
and he was just like,
That's what I sleep with every night.
just calling out the women on set. Anyway, so then they concluded most of filming in February 2021. They still needed to film the train sequence, though. The first bridge that they wanted to blow up was in the Swiss Alps, and the government said no.
Because Indiana Jones is blowing up that bridge.
The next bridge was a historic bridge in Poland from World War II. The local population heard about this and began to speak out against the stunt because they were going to destroy a historic landmark. Polish-American producer Andrew Exner was hired by Paramount to help them in the scouting search. He then accused Paramount and Tom Cruise of, quote, working with shady people from Poland with connections to the Polish government. He is now currently locked in a lawsuit with Tom Cruise and Paramount for not paying him and intimidation.
Oh, he's suing them.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that bridge didn't work out either, basically. They moved the location back to Norway and the UK, and they planned to film in the spring and summer of 2021. The first location with the train was going over a bridge on the Peak Northshire Railway, and the second location was Stony Park in Middleton. At the Stony Park location, they were suspended for 2 weeks because another 2023 summer blockbuster, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, was filming their opening train sequence on the same railway. Isn't that amazing how one of these movies looks absolutely astonishing when they filmed their railway sequence in the same place Indiana Jones filmed theirs, and just nothing. It's not even close to as good as what you get in this movie.
But I mean, it goes back to what Mike was saying. It's just like a lot of parallel imagery throughout all these movies.
Yeah. After, Disney, they love their train heists. On August 20th, 2021, filming concluded by sending the locomotive that they had built over the side of a cliff into the quarry. They built that locomotive because nobody would allow them to buy one and destroy it. So they built a steam locomotive in the year of our Lord 2020, and then they destroyed it on the last day of filming.
This is another movie got a lot of Back to the Future 2 and 3 stuff.
After one final delay, due to another Tom Cruise-led sequel dropping in the summer of 2022, Mission Impossible 7 was set for a July 2023 release date, placing it squarely in the middle of two other highly anticipated summer blockbusters, Barbenheimer. Mission Impossible 7 will only play in 1 week for IMAX screens, meaning that this thing has an uphill battle ahead of it. But like every other Mission Impossible movie that's come out, it will have legs.
Legs.
So it will make its money in the long run.
I'm wondering if Barbie and Oppenheimer will have long legs.
Also, Paramount is trying to get that $50 million from the insurance company to offset the cost of this, so they'll be fine.
What do you mean?
Because Skydance paid their part of the budget, Paramount paid their part, and then it ballooned $50 million more than what they originally intended to spend. So Paramount's going after the insurance company to cover that because COVID did that. It wasn't like...
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. I thought you were saying something to do with like Tom Cruise's insurance policy and be like, hey, we didn't need it, so give us our money back.
No.
50 million here.
Tom didn't die.
Have you guys been hearing this story that Matt Damon's been talking about with Tom Cruise? He's like, Matt Damon says it was the one where he just climbed the side of the building. You know, it was Ghost Protocol, and he said like I had dinner with him, and I asked him, so like what goes into a shot like that? He goes, all right, I've been dreaming about this shot for 15 years. Like, you know how he's always fucking intense, and he's like, so I say to my safety guy, this is what I want to do. And the safety guy says, nah, Tom, I don't think we can do that. So I got a new safety guy. So, either way though, that was pretty much the turbulent production of this movie. I'm surprised it is as good as it is.
Yeah.
To not only be good, just to be great with all the setbacks. They had to change locations, rewrites on the spot, you know, just to get them what they wanted to do. But even then, I don't think it mattered where the final battle took place. The themes and the characters were so strong.
Friendship.
You know what I mean? Yes. Not family. Friendship.
Yeah, Fast and the Furious and Mission Impossible are good companion series.
Are they?
Friends and family.
Friends
I would
and
say
family.
John Wick and Mission quality wise.
Family and friends.
Okay, sorry. All right. So then, as far as spoilers are concerned, it says part 1. So you know that it has a satisfying ending, I think, as far as this movie is concerned. But we do know the story is continuing in part 2, and I can't wait to see how they're gonna get on that fucking sub, man. That's gonna be awesome. What do you guys think of the cold open with the submarines?
It was good.
Yeah, I like that. I like that too. I didn't know that you could cancel a torpedo though. That's cool.
Another thing that we didn't know was going to be relevant and somehow was relevant, just sinking of submersible items.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Yeah.
and also it's right off the coast of fucking Ukraine,
Yeah.
which is also relevant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about that.
No, not the real sub. This sub in the movie is
yeah.
sunk off the coast of Ukraine.
Yeah.
No, that was honestly like the everything in this was mildly terrifying how relevant it felt. No, and now knowing that this movie was like supposed to come out in 2021,
Even earlier.
like like in 2021, if this had come out then, we would have been like, oh, haha, so silly, so
AI.
funny, like AI, you know, sinking submarines, lol, so silly. But like coming out of it, like
What'd you
July
guys
2023.
Think of the pre-orchestrated, like the algorithms pushing it, like the part where the computer is talking to Ethan, and I was like, damn, all right, this is serious.
I thought
now.
the bomb sequence with
That
Benji was
wild
crazy.
too. I was
Oh
like,
my
damn, all right,
God.
we're starting with a nuke early. Okay, shit.
And the fact that like it spelled out his last name is like
Yep.
Dunn instead of Done.
Ryan
it's-
Dunn.
Yeah. Oh.
It's
R.I.P.
like trying to understand him better through the puzzles that it's giving him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's both using that to like trip him up and then like learn about him.
I
Mhm.
loved, like I said, I loved when Gabriel was like, the key will be delivered to my feet.
Yes.
So it is written. And then
And it
it's
fucking
it
did, yeah.
fucking is. And I didn't realize this in the first time I saw it, when he cuts Carrie Elways' throat and he's like, you'll betray me. You'll betray us because he spared your life. It applies to Carrie Elways, but he's really talking about, and it just didn't occur to me in the moment. Like,
Well, she even says it. She was like, "He said I would betray you," and you know, like,
Yeah.
But why?
Well,
I
no,
think she's.
he starts fighting her right after that. He kills that guy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because the guy doesn't need to know, and then he starts to go like realistically, he's just trying to kill her.
Yeah,
Realistically,
I think
he
both
has
of
to
them
take everyone out.
for the same reason. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they both know too much. They have
Yeah.
to be taken out.
Honestly, and Palm only having like 4 lines and like most of it is just like her swan
Listen,
song at the end.
she's
Perfect.
She,
She did
she's
so
not
well.
dead. She's not dead. She'll be in the next one.
Oh, they did say she's got
She's
a heart.
she had a pulse.
Just pulse.
And the other thing is that it's not the size of the role; it's the actor portraying the role. she steals every scene that she's in with very minimal dialogue.
Yeah.
And she's not one of these characters that's just like a mute the entire time, like Ruby Rose in John Wick 2. You know what I mean?
No, I haven't seen that one.
You absolutely have.
Oh wait, John Wick 2. I thought you were talking about Mission Impossible 2.
No, and she's she is smart and cunning and strong, and like she's got all the makings of a terrorist
And a little maniacal when she's behind the wheel.
And like that was insane. Her driving that car, and she did not care what was in her way.
Nope.
Like, that
all
was
those fucking scooters.
oh my god,
That was fun.
That was my first. Her car, that H2. That was my first car. Not with all the battle gear.
the
on it,
US.
but- yeah, the US.
US.
Yeah. I love the little Fiat thing.
So that was another scene. So the train thing reminded me of Back to the Future Part 3 because they do the same thing. That chase was weirdly reminiscent of the chase in Back to the Future Part 2 when Marty's got his little, pink hoverboard and he's getting chased by Griff and his gang, and he's got a bulldog. And it's like it growls. It's like
and they all hook up to it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And that chase was so reminiscent of that scene from Back to the Future too.
What'd you think of the handcuffs?
That was fun.
The part where she
A little too silly, but it was fun.
the part where she smashes, where she gets in the fucking car accident, where Grace gets in the car accident.
Yeah.
And like her face hits the airbag, I'd be like, dude, she'd be fucking mangled. And then I
was
love
waiting for
when
blood
she's
and
like,
black eyes.
yeah, I love when she's shell shocked and like you see the motorcycle just like doing a wheelie and it takes out two guys and then he fucks up that one. That's what I appreciate, is that it's not like he is consistently fucking dudes up. You know what I mean? I like that. I like when they do that. I like when they do that.
That's why I like John Wick too.
Yeah, yeah. But like
He's not pulling punches.
yeah.
Yeah.
He throws that guy's head through the fucking window.
How about
He does that a lot in this movie. I like that.
He gets hit by a train.
Oh my god!
He gets a
yeah.
subway
so,
train.
That was new. Is that like we don't see how it ends? You know what I mean? Like you didn't see him pull that wheel off and jump out the window.
No.
You just saw the train get hit by the car, and he just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it's one of those things. Like he's not gonna die. So like, let's just
He dove to the side. You see that.
And then even the last train car, which what a fucking way to portray a train derailment.
That was
like
fucking crazy.
every Call of Duty train derailment for the past 15 years has like, and listen, you guys have seen trains derail before. The momentum of them is what.
That's also relevant. We just had a major train derailment this year.
Exactly. You have
More
the-
than one.
you
Apparently
have
that
the-
happens quite often.
You have the momentum because like all those cars aren't going to stop. So so they're just going to fly off the rails. They keep moving, right? I love this idea that whereas Call of Duty was when a train derails, these cars are just flying over your fucking head and like they just keep going. Like, you hear the down like as it all blown up.
Yep.
Whereas this one was just like they slowed it down enough to where it's not speeding off the edge, but there's enough weight being pulled and momentum to keep this like slow falling train puzzle, like Uncharted 2. This is the sequence from
Jurassic Park 3.
No, more Uncharted than Jurassic Park.
Yeah, for sure. But that's in there.
And no train
And,
car was
dude,
the same.
But it's also down to
they
like
each had like their own obstacles.
Yeah.
but it also in the way that like they all had whatever they were holding on to had gold handles. Uncharted all had gold handles. I also love the performances in that moment, because like Grace is like, holy fuck, like, she's
I didn't
holding on
sign
to
up
him at
for
one
this.
part, and it's like, do you trust me? And she's like, what I mean? Like,
I felt
That got a big laugh.
with
Yeah.
her character, sometimes there was like a little flip flop, wishy washy on whether she's like a hardcore badass fighter or just like a attention pickpocket.
there was I've seen some people being like, well, what was the deal? She was fighting at the end of it. It's like, first of all, bro, everybody fights in a Mission
Yes.
Impossible movie. You
Yes,
know that
but-
going into this. And number two, he says to her when he's her lawyer, he says to her, somebody taught you to hone those skills. Like he says, like, you know how to you know,
Street
take care of
smart,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
she's
if
not
they
some
go through all
fucking
her
No,
karate
crimes, not
badass,
all
but she could
baby.
fuck people up.
That's what I
fucking
felt
two
like
knives.
wish-washy. Like she's like coming off as like this badass that's like got this, you know, laundry list of offenses underneath her. But then she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so scared. I don't know what to do." And then it like
if you
then
think
goes
of,
back to
if you put it into perspective, you can have a lot of skills that you apply, you know, individually one at a time,
Yeah.
versus having to be this the most incredibly versatile and present and not panic, you know,
Yes.
like you don't panic in these situations where you're in a train that's about to fall off a fucking bridge. You would lose your shit,
Yeah.
even if you do know how to, you know,
And
hold
I-
your own in a fight.
The
I
whistle
don't think
was
this
cool.
is I don't
Yeah.
think
On the
this is
train.
Haley Atwell's acting. I don't think this is like on her. I think that's the
No,
way
you're
the
blaming
character
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that's you, Tom Cruise. I'm blaming you.
I'm not
I
blaming you.
I just felt like they made it like two sides of a coin, like too far one way and too far the other.
I like
it
when
was pretty
Gabriel
good.
hung the engineer
Hold
with
on.
the whistle.
Mike, what are you
Like, what were you
saying?
gonna say?
I did like that. I
It
think
was
to your
good.
point, Nick, it makes a lot of sense. It's like it shows her as in someone who can step into this role of one of these individuals. Like she has the makings of it all, but she's not seasoned like Tom Cruise is. So
She's
that's
not
almost
fully
the
formed.
teaching moment of, you know, Tom Cruise to be
Not
like, you
yet.
do this, you do this. Look at me, like this is this. Like we're here now. I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
This one. Yeah, he's like, now I want it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes her more three-dimensional.
Yeah.
Rather than just being either the ultimate badass or scaredy cat.
Yeah.
And the fact that
And she's not like-
reacts to each situation,
Differently.
yeah, differently.
It's also not an exact replacement for Ilsa.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Where Ilsa was like MI6 disavowed, pretty much the
Incredibly
equal to Ethan.
confident. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Grace is on a different. You know, I love this idea that she's a thief. You know, that was really cool. You know, because you figure, okay, going into this, she'll just be the new. You know, but no, it's a different angle. She's an independent party. You know, in all this, and she just gets all
Just
mixed
like
up.
in Indiana Jones, we got another thief.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
oh
they
my
did this
God.
a lot better.
Yo, but I'll be clear about something. I don't know if she was a thief or not. I don't know if she was into antiquities or not because she was written like shit. Where Grace was like, I'm a thief all the time. I'm gonna steal from you any which way I can. I'm so klepto. I don't know which way is up. Like that's how fucking she was always thieving.
yeah, she
He had to handcuff himself to her at one point because he couldn't
She
trust
had
her.
a bag full of passports. Like she was good at it. Like I believed her character was a grade A pickpocket and thief. But
But are you a
Grace
grade A
was-
put
Grace was
pocket?
like Grace was like a gambling addict. She knew what she was doing. She was seasoned.
yeah,
It's just a one, baby.
I'm sorry. The scene where Tom Cruise calls her out for like basically hitting on a man because he was like, basically, you found the most basic middle-aged man you
Yep.
could find because all that man wants is attention from a woman that looks like you. I was like, God damn, that was good. I get it.
Some middle-aged guy who's been waiting his whole life for a woman like you to notice him.
Ugh.
I love the Benji freak out moments in this movie. The first one being, Ethan, there might be a nuclear bomb. Sorry, you had a lot going on. We don't want to
Yeah.
bother you. A nuclear bomb is something you bother me
Yeah,
with.
that was great.
about
And then I love the other one where he's on the top of the cliff. He's like, well, pull yourself together, Ethan. I'm under a lot of pressure here. And he's like, I'm
That's-
on the fucking bike, bro.
The
Like,
audience loved that. The guy next to me in the theater was like, "Benji's my boy."
What do you
And
mean
you wanna
didn't
know
get
what?
to the train?
both times I saw it, the first time I saw it was, you know, that was a fan crowd, so people were lighting up, like that scene where, like, if they so choose to,
People were clapping like in the
people
middle
were-
of the movie. Yeah.
people were loving it. When I saw it on Saturday, it still got big laughs, but people were not as into it. You know what I mean? Plus it was the post lunch crowd, so everybody's a little sleepy. You know what I mean?
A little sleepy.
A little sleepy. Yeah. No,
I was sad that
I got nothing really to like critique. Like, do you guys have anything to critique?
your piss poor attitude.
Sing.
I was sad that Ilsa died. That's not a critique. I
Yeah.
was sad to
But
see her go.
that's just a testament to how great of a character she
Yeah.
was, and I love that there's stakes. Like they were like, when they wrote this movie, they were like, we got to kill somebody. You know what I mean? We have to
And
make
it can't be Benji.
We have to make it matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it
So-
wasn't going to be Grace.
Yeah.
I
also
heard
like
a
with
lot
that
of
too.
people. Sorry, Mike. What was that?
I was gonna say I like with that too, where I love when you guys look at the picture.
Well, that's where you
Um,
are.
Yeah, no, I know. I like with that too that also is like part of the foretold what the AI is. So it's kind of like that's the severity of like you're like, no, we're dealing with something that knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
We got a Doctor Strange
And-
over here.
and-
I was gonna
Yeah.
say that because they're like it's coming up with all these probabilities and all these outcomes. And I'm like,
What I
Doctor
thought
Strange.
was interesting is the way the algorithm quantifies Ethan, where it's counting on him for 2 probabilities to either kill Gabriel or what was the other one?
die.
Die on the train. But what I really loved was that it's the algorithm is afraid of you because you're the only person
It knows.
that it's trying to kill.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a cool angle too. Like
The fact that like we all know Ethan Hunt is the most amazing spy in the whole world. That even an AI, the only thing that it is scared of is Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt, yeah. So one of the other things that I've seen going around is that, and listen, I saw some people with genuinely like, man, why did they kill Rebecca Ferguson and keep Haley? Or I've seen people genuinely say, oh, I get why they'd get rid of, they're trading in for the newer model or something like that, which is fucked up in and of it because Ilsa has her place and so does Grace. That's when you find out that, because I thought Rebecca Ferguson was significantly older than Haley Atwell. Do you know how old Rebecca Ferguson is?
No.
She's 38. Haley Atwell's 42. I thought they were
wow.
swapped. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Haley Atwell was in her
No.
late
Wow.
30s and Rebecca Ferguson was like 47.
Let's be clear. If you told me Haley Atwell was like 33,
I would believe you.
I believe you.
Yeah. And Haley Atwell has not aged a day since
No.
debuting in Captain America, the
America,
First
yeah.
Avenger. Okay, she does not look different at all.
I
And
mean,
that was
her
how many
and-
years ago?
And I mean, her and Rebecca Ferguson look nothing alike. But like, if you told me Rebecca Ferguson was like, 42, I'd be like, yeah, okay, makes sense.
British brunettes. Hollywood's favorite class of leading lady.
Hollywood or Pats.
Daisy Ridley. Another one.
Here we go.
Listen, I'll just be straight up with everybody. I have been in love with Haley Atwell since the first Captain America. I've been upset that she hasn't been in other things until now.
I know, you've told me this.
No, that's not what I told you. I told you something else, and your response was, I don't care. So I'll tell you guys later.
Gee, I wonder.
No, it actually isn't me. It's somebody else that I said was. And Liz did not like my tone. So, but yeah, anyway, I guess we could wrap this up because, like I said, I don't have any real it's good, it's great. Just go ahead, watch it.
Yeah, there's not too many spoilable things in that kind of way. It's like you said, it's a part 1 of a movie, so we don't get a final conclusion to a story.
Yep.
It's just like solid action all the way throughout that, like you said, I totally recommend going and seeing.
Also, if this is your first Mission Impossible, so this was only the 3rd one I've seen. I don't remember Fallout. I've never seen Rebecca Ferguson's character before, but it was still easy to follow and understand.
Rebecca Ferguson was in Fallout.
Yeah, but I don't remember Fallout. I told you all I remember is the Henry Cavill dun, and that was it. The pocket.
The pocket.
Because
There's a pocket and then there's no pocket.
no other way
Or
around.
There's not a pocket and then there is a
They
pocket.
combined a shot from when they first shot the scene and reshoots.
Did you say combined?
He combined a shot.
Combined that word.
Combined a shot. You shut the fuck up. They combined a shot from the first time they shot that scene with reshoots, and he had a bit of a thicker beard, and his shirt now had a pocket on it. So they fixed it in the movie, but in the trailer, when it first came out, when you see Henry Cavill do the thing.
Oh, yeah.
When the first fist goes, he has no pocket and like no beard. And then when the second one goes, it just morphs into like the pocket shows up because he's, wearing a different shirt. And now he's got like a fuller beard because they just spliced 2 shots together.
But yeah, anyway. I still, even if this is your first Mission Impossible, I would still recommend it. You can still see it without having to see the others, I feel like.
I just don't know why you would. Just watch. They're all on
All
Paramount.
good.
I mean, yes, but like my first Mission Impossible was Fallout, and I went because of the person I was dating. There's probably a lot of people in that situation.
Who is that? Who's that guy?
You.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure I was here. You could have just said me.
Well, I mean,
We all know who it is.
do we? Oh God!
It's not a mystery. All right. Clip of the week.
All right, I'm gonna turn this down a little. We'll see how it sounds.
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
All right. You ready?
Mike, can you see this?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's do it.
It doesn't look familiar to you. You haven't seen this.
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Oh, I have seen this. I'm sorry. I have seen this.
That's pretty. That's
Damn, he got air.
And look, the tire's like,
and then the
fuck
insult to
you.
Injury.
That's like Mario Kart.
That's seriously a Looney Tune.
Like, dude, look, the tire. Look, what happened to the the truck? Just, dude.
there's sparks flying off of the truck.
Well, yeah, because it's riding right on the rotors.
Oh my god,
God
dude.
damn. Can you imagine like that car is sitting
Where
there
was
doing
this?
nothing?
Los Angeles, Chadsworth.
He's just drinking a matcha green tea.
Dude, why was this guy recording?
He probably
it's
has
a
a
dash cam.
Oh, okay.
So we get quality content.
Holy shit! Yeah. Oh my god.
Do we know if the driver is okay?
I do love that the tire comes back. That is
that's
funny.
just the funniest.
Well, yeah, this car's got multiple crumple zones, so
Yeah.
they're fine.
Yeah, but they also
Wow.
go 20 feet into the air.
They really caught air.
And they land right on the driver's seat.
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh.
What was that?
I don't know.
Where? Oh,
I don't know what that is.
And then you see the reflection on the ground
Yeah.
too. Is that like a fireball?
There's a soul leaving a driver's body.
Wait, just goddamn.
like, what
don't
is
know.
that?
It's the soul leaving.
Oh, I
the
wonder
body.
if it's one of the headlights like
Oh,
swinging
maybe.
around or something.
It might
Oh,
be.
or like detaching or something.
Yeah.
It could also just be glare because of the dash cam.
Damn, these people don't even realize what happened. Like they didn't
No,
see
Yeah.
that.
not a clue.
Like
Meanwhile, this person in a pickup truck has no idea what's going on.
boom,
Oh,
up, up.
How did it go?
Bump, belly, bump.
Belly bump. All right. Well, with that said,
Bump, belly, bump.
thanks so much for everyone, for checking out this week's episode of Press Any Key. We will see you next week for the
Barbenheimer.
the penultimate movie of the summer. I mean, the weekend of the summer. After this, we're done. No more podcasting. No, we'll see you next
We're
week.
dropping a bomb on the podcast.
We will see you next week for Barbenheimer. Okay,
and Pikmin 4.
and Pikmin 4. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.